Hello, good evening. So let's start our live session today, which is related to where we left off. So it was related to. Uh, Let me see where I left off the things. So we were discussing things related to. I don't know how to speak. So there were some of the things that we find out, like we discussed that we don't know how we can speak, in the sense like we know all of the things, but the thing is that we are not able to form or make it structure it so that people can understand it. So there was one thing, like we were taking help of ChatGPT, Google, Perplexity, and other things, so that we can get to know what things we have to learn, and based on that, if we are going to do this. So you struggle to structure and externalize your thoughts clearly when cognitive pressure is added. People, camera, expectation. So what we said, let me write it down here. Let me write down a title where we will be able to see our page, that what this page is about. Live, we are gonna write it down like, no man, la you. Oh, that's completely not good. We are gonna erase all of these. It's not about erasing or something, but the thing is that what we are learning here is that live. Oh man. Mm, Learning to speak. I'm gonna write it down like this. Learning. This is what our topic related to learning to speak. Yeah, so we get to know that what does it mean by, what does it mean by I don't know how to speak. So we were trying to find out the problem itself earlier. Like, what does it mean by? If we are saying that I don't know how to speak, so we were trying to get help of ChatGPT, and using that ChatGPT, we were refining our solution, not a solution actually, our problem, that what does it mean by we don't know how to speak. So there were some of the things that we saw. Let me check it. What was those? So now here there is one thing that is being said by ChatGPT is, you struggle to structure and externalize your thoughts. That is what the truth thing is here. What it is saying, you struggle to structure and externalize, and it's Z, externalize your thoughts. This is correct, but here ChatGPT is saying that clearly, let's say clearly, because this is important, because we want to convey whatever we want to convey, it should be clear so that another person can understand it, and we'll discuss it how we can get it better. Now, let's take this only and learn this how we can learn together, and let's find out how much we can improve. Like what I'm gonna do here, first of all, we will try to analyze the problem. Based on that, we are going to try to take the solutions or find out the solution, and we are going to implement the solution, and how it would work. Let's see in our life actually, because this is related to learning the things as earlier built with Rehan. That is what I named, or channel names, sorry, channels handle is built with Rehan. So that is what that was the only purpose of mine, that I wanted to learn every day with you, so that you can also learn, I can also learn, and we will grow together. Now today's live streaming will go more than 30 minutes, as we earlier discussed that it could 30 minutes, more than 30 minutes, but I would prefer to do that more than 30 minutes, because me personally also learning most of the things when I'm doing live streaming. That is the another reason for doing live streamings, because it is making me think, or it is making me do the things, and just because of which I'm going to do most of the things. So let's start, let's continue. You struggle to structure and externalize your thoughts clearly when cognitive pressure is added. But here it's not related to cognitive pressure, it's completely related to, like in any situation. Let's say if I want to, uh, explain something to someone, at the time, sometime it will happen that I won't be able to convey it very clearly so that another person can understand it. Another person can understand in the sense, I just mixed the things so much in the sense, I'm just making it very, like right now also you can see that when I'm trying to convey you something, at the time I'm mixing up the things, or I'm not getting the words, or there are some of the things that I don't know how to make it very structured and give you or present in front of you so that you can get it very easily. That is what we want to do here. So let me correct it. Let me say to the ChatGPT, what does it mean? Like, first of all, I'm gonna turn on my Super Whisper so that I can speak. So here you mentioned the problem. You struggle to structure and externalize your thoughts clearly when cognitive pressure is added. But it's not more related to cognitive pressure. Sometimes it happens that if I have pressure, then I won't be able to speak clearly. But most of the time, it also happens that when I want to present my concept in front of people whom I know or who know me, even though the thinking or whatever the thoughts or concept I have in my mind, which I know very well, I understand it very well, I feel it very well. Even though sometimes I'm not able to externalize it, structure it in front of them so that they can listen it carefully, they can understand it, and they will say, yes, that is what I wanted to have, or something like that. So that is our problem. So can you please just make it correct and let me know, like what, or try to figure out what is my problem or the things. I'll tell you more of the things, and let's see how it goes. So now I have given ChatGPT what it says. So I'm gonna write it down everything, whatever the ChatGPT is gonna say. So here it is saying that you struggle to structure and externalize your thoughts clearly. That is correct. I may agree with it, but let's refine it so that we can understand and we can implement the solution. And let's see if we will be able to structure our thoughts and will be able to present in front of people's, or whoever is watching or whoever is listening. It's not only about in front of YouTube audience or in front of people who are listening to me. It's not related to that. Even if a single person is listening to me, and if I'm able to convey my thoughts, make him understand what I understand, and make him feel relate to that particular concept, what I feel, then we will call it as yes, we know how to speak now. So let's try to find it out. First, what you just clarified, important, you are saying this does not happen only under pressure. Okay, that's correct. It happens even with people who you know, with people who know you without fear, nervousness. You understood the concept deeply. You can feel what you want to say, but when you speak, it doesn't come out structured. It doesn't land the way it exists in your mind. People don't get the exact clarity you have. So yes, this is not primarily cognitive pressure. Good catch. That was a partial diagnosis, not the full one. Now here we mentioned one of the things that let me say that we are saying that you understand the concept deeply. You understand concept deeply. So I have some doubt related to these because I'm just thinking that if sometimes what happens if you know something very well, then you will be able to convey it very well. So let's just take an example of this Apple Pencil. Okay. So what is this Apple Pencil? This is the pencil which we used to write down anything on note, note. Yeah, that is what it is called. Might be I'm wrong, I'm not wrong. I don't know about it, but I do personally believe this is what this Apple Pencil do. So concept is this Apple Pencil is being used to write down the things or thoughts or whatever we think, just to note it down on note. So that was the concept. But actually, do we know what does it mean by Apple Pencil and all those things? Did we correctly like said whatever I said? So how we can figure it out if we are explaining something that's correct thing or wrong? We don't know anything about it. So that is what we need to find it right now. So what we are saying here, that you understand the concept deeply. I need to understand this. If it is correct or wrong, let's try to figure it out. No, so yes, this is not primarily cognitive good catch. Now that was a partial diagnosis, not the full one. Let's correct the core problem. Your real problem is you think in meaning, no, but you try to speak in sentence. That is also the thing. We try to speak in sentence, but we try to think in thinking. Yes, we think in meaning. Meaning, we know the meaning, but we don't know the sentences. That gap is what's breaking things. Now let me explain how your mind actually works. Inside your head, your understanding is non-verbal, conceptual, dense, connected, simultaneous. You don't think like first I did this, then I did that, then I learned X. You think like I see how everything connects. I get it. Yeah, that is also thing that happens with me. Most of the time I do know the concepts. Yeah, I'm saying personally about myself, I do believe like this, but I don't know exactly like if someone, let's say someone is observing me and he know deep knowledge related to human behavior, then he might can say that yes, I'm wrong or right. But the thing is that what I know about myself is that I do understand in the concepts in the sense, like I don't know that what is this laptop. Like I feel it. I do understand it. But if someone asks me that what does it mean by laptop, then I'll be might be like got confused. Got confused in the sense, let me try it out in front of you. What does it mean by laptop? Laptop uh, is a machine where we can, I don't know. Seriously, I don't know. Like, I don't know. What does it mean? So the thing is that we don't know the concept. Sometimes, like, for me, I do know the concept, but I don't know what, like, how can I structure it so that people can understand or I can make people understand this. So that is what I guess we need to solve. But let's see what is the actual problem. How your mind actually works. You don't think like first I did this, then I did that, then I learned X. You think like now I see how everything connects. I get it. Or might be I know the laptop is what laptop is in my mind, or I can understand it, I can feel it. But I never learned what laptop is. So that is also the reason I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, that could be the reason. So we'll try to figure it out. This first concept, this one, so that we can understand if we really know the concept, and based on that concept, if we are able to speak or not. Let's try to find it out. But first of all, let me read what we have here. So you don't think like first I did this, then I did that, then I learned X. You think like I see how everything connects, I get it. This is concept level thinking, not sentence level thinking. It is saying that when we know the something, like I see how everything connects, I get it. So this ChatGPT is saying that this is concept level thinking. But let's see if it is or not, not sentence level thinking. That's why you say I know it, I understand it, I feel it. See, I know it, I understand it, I feel it. What I was saying. Because your understanding exists as internal clarity, not spoken language. Why speaking fails? Even without pressure, speaking requires something very different. Linear order, explicit transitions, assumptions about listeners' context, simplification, redundancy. You are trying to convert meaning, language in real time. And that conversation is where things breaks. So the issue is not fear, confidence, vocabulary, English. The issue is you don't have a translation layer between understanding and speech. The precise name of your problem. Here is the most accurate formulation. You lack a repeatable method to translate internal conceptual understanding into external linear friendly structure. Or in simpler words, you know things deeply, but you don't yet know how to package them for the other minds. That is also the thing why this feels frustrating, because from your side everything feels obvious, everything is already connected, everything already makes sense. So when people don't get it, it feels like why can't I explain what I know? Why does it sound unclear when I say it? Why am I mixing things? But you are not mixing ideas, you are dumping raw understanding without shaping it. Key distinction. This matters a lot. Your problem is not I don't know what to say. No, what we were talking about earlier. Right now also I am talking about it. Your problem is not I can't speak properly. Your problem is not I get nervous. Your problem is I don't yet know how to externalize clarity that already exists internally. That's thinking to speaking gap. Now, why many smart people have this exact issue? Like here it is saying that many smart people have this exact issue. So, can you understand what does it mean? I'm just understanding it for me. But anyway, let's see what it says. This happens especially to engineers, developers, builders, deep learners, self taught professionals because they learn by doing, understand by pattern recognition, don't naturally narrate their process. So, when asked to explain, they try to speak from understanding, but speaking requires speak from structure. Those are different skills. Now, one sentence summary, corrected, final. Here is the clean, pressure free diagnosis. Your difficult it is not speaking or confidence. It is the absence of explicit structure that converts your internal understanding into communicable form. See with that. That's the real thing. Where we go next? Only if you want. From here, the solution path is very clear and very practical. We can work on a universal explanation framework you can use for any concept. A career story structure so you mix things again. Thinking before speaking micro process 60 seconds. Now, a way to speak when clarity isn't fully formed yet. No motivation talk. No generic tips. Now, tell me what you want to tackle next. So let's find out the next thing that we have to understand first. Then we are going toward we will go toward solution. So as ChatGPT said that if we know the things or we understand, we feel, we know the concepts, but if we are not able to externalize it or convey it, then it's not the problem of like we are missing something or something. Yeah, it's a problem of like we understand the things by learning, by doing the things. That is why sometimes it happens that we won't be able to structure it, externalize it in a structured format. That is what ChatGPT is saying. But let me try to ask it something else related to understanding the concept deeply or not. So this could be the issue. Like let's say if we really know something and each and everything, so it's an obvious thing that we would be able to make that concept very easily. But I have one doubt for this, if we really know everything or not. If we know, then it's an obvious thing that we would be able to externalize it, convey it. So let's just try to find it out. Let me ask it. I understand what you said. Like you made me understand why this problem happens. So let's say if I'm learning something by doing, then I would be able to get the concept by feeling it, by understanding it, by knowing it. But to make it externalize or to convey someone, we didn't learn that concept the same way. That is why this problem happens. But the question is that how we would get to know if we really know about it. Like you understand the concept deeply. That you mentioned earlier, and me as well also mentioned earlier that if we know the concept correctly, even though sometimes we are not able to convey or externalize the thoughts. But I want to understand how can I understand if I know the concept deeply or not. So let's see what we get by giving these. But let me tell you one thing. Even if a single person is not watching my YouTube streaming, but I'm enjoying doing live streaming because I'm learning something here. I'm very much enjoying it. Literally. Might be you're feeling like I'm saying or anyway, but I'm enjoying it. That's the perfect thing for me. And let's see how long can we do it. But I guess I'm gonna do it for long because I'm learning something. I'm spending my time here to learn something, and it will work for me. So let's see how it goes. Ta-da-da. I like to be happy actually, and that's a different thing. This is very high quality question, Rehan, and you are asking the right thing now. You are no longer asking why I can't speak. You are speaking how do I know that I actually understand something deeply, and I'm not just feeling like I do. That distinction matter a lot. Let's answer this cleanly, precisely, and practically. First, a crucial correction. If I can't explain it, I don't understand it. This is false for people like you. See, people like me, but I don't know why it is saying like that. But and let me tell you another thing that I'm not very expert in taking notes very clearly. I'm gonna just use some kind of colors here, and that's it. So it is saying that so we need to better test of understanding that can I speak it fluently. So here it is being said that if I can't explain it, I don't understand. This is not the thing. Uh, false, false sentence. False no, false concept. No, first a crucial correction. If I can't explain it, I don't understand it. I'm not gonna write it down because this is the concept. Sometime first, first, let me tell you. By this sentence, I understand that don't judge the people who are not able to explain the things, because it could happen that they know more about it, but right now they are not able to externalize it. And let's see if it is or not. If I can't explain it, I don't understand it. This is false. False. Now, for people like you, explanation is a separate skill. So we need better taste of understanding that than can I speak it fluently? What deep understanding actually means, not vibes. Now, you deeply understand the concept if you can do these four things even silently. So here it is being said, not it is being said actually. Here it is saying that if we do understand this some of the four concepts, then we would be able to get what does it really mean. And why I don't get a single view? That's not good, isn't it? Because I'm teaching very good concept. I do personally feel it very well. But anyway, people are gonna watch it after some time and will get it. Even though if they are not gonna get, I'm gonna get something. So it's okay. Da 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 da. What deep understanding actually means? You deeply understand a concept if you can do these four things even silently. You can predict behavior. Ask yourself, this variable changes, what will happen? If if this variable changes, what will happen? If you can anticipate outcomes without guessing, that's understanding. Example, if I change this code logic, what breaks? If I change these career decisions, what consequences follows? Predictions is greater than explanation. See, we really get to know one of the things, and just to validate it, we can just go on Google and search it. But I would prefer ChatGPT itself, because most of the time, whatever the ChatGPT has the data, it's coming from from various sources. I guess I need to find it out, but I'm not saying it's the thing, but it's my guess. And let's follow this, because even if it's not perfect, and if it helped me to make my speaking skill very good, then it's fine for me. So let's write down how to understand if we really know the concept, whatever it is. So here it is being said that if this variable changes, what will happen? This is one of the example that we can ask ourselves, not an example, but it's a question. If something is going to change, then what will happen? So we should be able to, or we would be able to give its answer if we know the answer. So let's say, if I know the laptop, then I should be able to give, like, if I close this laptop, what will happen? This is not actually a good question, but I do know related to my work. Like, if I close this laptop, then I won't be able to live from my laptop, and I won't be able to do various things, which I do from my laptop. So, but I will not call it as the concept. But because of laptop, I'm able to do my work. But to understand laptop, I need to understand what does it mean by laptop. So if this key is not gonna work, then what will happen? It's related to working. Like, I'm just taking an example of laptop, but do I really understand the laptop? What does it mean by laptop? So, yes, I know in terms of its working. Working in says I can't say working, but its uses. Like what does it do? What if this is didn't work? Then what will happen? I won't be able to write it down. This particular key. Likewise, but its main concept in the sense how it is being created, what was being used, and blah 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 things. I don't know about it. So yes, I don't know exactly what does it mean by laptop. What does it mean by Apple Pencil? I know it's working. Working means its use, but how does it work or like we don't know. So let's try to find it out as well. Like what does it call? You can predict behavior. Ask yourself. Okay, example. If I change this code logic, what breaks? If I change this career decisions, what consequences follows? Predictions. So here we are gonna write it down in a green. Action will be explanation. What is the spelling of explanation? Yeah, I'm right. I was just thinking that it's not right, but it's right. And let's do a live. I'm just seeing my charging. I mean, laptop charging. You can recognize error immediately. Deep understanding creates fast error detections. You hear or see something wrong and think, even if you can't articulate why it, if you feel an incorrectness reliably, you understand the system. Second, if you feel incorrectness reliably, you understand the system. The system. So this is what we have. You can apply it in a new situation, not a repetition, transfer, ask. Can I use this idea in slightly different context? If yes, understanding exists. Can I use this idea in a slightly different context? Same principle, different project, same idea, different domain, same logic, different problems. If yes, understanding exists, you can explain it to yourself in raw form, not polished speech. Can you? Write messy notes, draw arrows, speak broken sentences to yourself. Okay, you can explain it to yourself in raw form, not polished. You can apply it in a situation. You can recognize errors immediately. Okay, you can predict behavior, and you can explain to yourself. That is the fourth, not polished. If your private explanation works, public failure doesn't invalidate understanding. Okay, so here we have four understandings. I'm gonna write it down again. If your private explanation works, if You were private works. A public failure doesn't invalidate understanding. Hello, hi, welcome to my YouTube channel, Renova, and we are here to learn new things. Built with Rehan. Public failure doesn't invalidate understanding. Public failure doesn't invalidate understanding. Invalidate understanding. So this is what we have now. I'm gonna ask the question to it related to laptop, and I will see how it goes. But first of all, let's try to read what it is saying or try to understand what it is saying. So here we have four questions or four concepts to understand, not concepts actually, the things that we should know in order to understand if we really do know something or not. So first is you can predict behavior in the sense like we will be able to understand what is going to happen for this particular thing, like a prediction, not explanation. You can recognize errors immediately. We would get to know the errors. It could be any kind of errors. It's not only about error, but there could be some other concepts as well for equivalent to errors. You can apply it to a new situation, not repetition, transfer, ask. Can I use this idea in slightly different context? Example, apply it in a new situation. If we really do know about a concept, if we really do know about something, then yeah, yes, now we would be able to apply in a new situation. And the fourth one, you can explain it to yourself in raw. And let's say if we really know about something, some concepts, then definitely we will be able to make it explain to ourselves. Not polished speech, can you? Write messy notes, dry rows, speak broken sentences to yourself. If your private explanation works, public failure doesn't invalidate understanding. What feels like understanding but isn't. Let let's also be honest. You may not deeply understand something if you only recognize it when you see it. You can repeat phrases but not manipulate ideas. You can follow but can't drive. You need the original context to function. That's familiarity, not mastery. The most important insight, this will click. Understanding lives in interaction, not articulation. If you can use it, modify it, fix it, predict with it, you can understand it. Even if you can't narrate it, why explanation still matters, but later. Explanation is a translation skill, a packaging skill, a teaching skill. It comes after understanding, not with it. You didn't learn by explaining. So don't judge your understanding by explaining. A simple self test you can use anytime. Very useful. When you learn something, ask yourself three questions. What problem does this solve? What breaks if I remove it? What happens if I change one part? If you can answer these, even roughly, you know it. Your real growth edge, this is key. You already understand by doing. Your next level is learning to separate knowing from expressing, and then slowly building a bridge between them, not by force, by structure, where we can go next, choose one. If we can work on a proof of understanding checklist, you can test how to convert raw understanding into explanation units, to speak without full clarity and still sound clear, private thinking, public speaking pipeline. Yeah, tell me which one you want next. So it is asking us that what do we need in the next. So let me ask some of the question to it. So you made me understand very much concepts related to how can we get to know if we really do know about something. Like we would be able to predict what is going to happen. We would be able to know if there would be some kind of error. After that, we will be able to know like if we are going to apply this same thing in a new situation, and we will be able to explain it to ourselves. That's the correct thing, I guess, whatever you said. But let's just take an example of laptop. I was talking about laptop just to make myself understand that if I really know about laptop or not. So I asked myself a question that what does it mean by laptop? So I was just thinking earlier that I do know about laptop, but when I tried to give answer at the time, I was just blank. But earlier I was known about that. Yes, I do really know about a laptop. But when I tried, I was not having an answer. But I tried somehow, like uh, laptop is being used for work, something like that. But even though I was not able to give an answer, so I didn't understand. Like for me, like as you are saying that in order to know something, if we really do know about it or not, then ask these questions. So let me ask this question to myself related to laptop. You can predict behavior. What kind of behavior am I gonna predict for laptop? Like I'm not getting anything. Second, you can recognize errors immediately. Errors. Laptop errors. What kind of errors? We are going to apply it in this situation. How I can implement or apply it in any situation. And fourth one is the concept itself. We would be able to explain it ourselves in a very raw form. I was not able to explain what does it mean by or even a single word. What does it mean laptop? So I just want to understand like I should be very clear about the concepts that I really do know and I don't know so that I can look after that and I will get those. Actually, I was not saying anything because my supervisor was listening to me and processing. And let's see what ChatGPT is going to give us. And I'm very excited by doing this because I'm personally feeling that I'm doing something. Something in the sense to learn myself, to do something. And let's see. This is excellent thinking, Rehan, and you just uncovered something very important about how your mind works. Ah, mind works. How my words? My word. Oh man, how my mind works. Okay. What happened with the laptop example does not mean you don't know what a laptop is. It means you were asking the wrong type of question to test your understanding. Okay, let's fix that clearly. First, why the laptop question broke your mind. You asked yourself, what does it mean by laptop? That question sounds simple, but it's actually abstract and unnatural for the brain. A laptop is not a concept you understand by definition, it's a concrete object you understand by interaction. See, it is making us clear, making us understand what we are asking and what we shouldn't ask. So the question was in itself wrong. So now my confidence is getting again. I'm gaining it again. A laptop is not a concept concept you understand by definition. It's a concrete object you understand by interaction. Your brain knows it like this. I open it, I work on it, I charge it, it gets slow, it heats, it breaks, it fixes or replaces it. But you forced your brain into give me a formal explanation. That's definition mode, not knowledge mode. So the blank wasn't ignorance, it was a mode mismatch. Oh man, what does it like? What is it saying? It's going like little bit confusing. Yeah, I mean like let me read it again. That the question sounds simple, but it's actually abstract and unnatural for the brain. A laptop is not a concept you understand by definition, it's a concrete object you understand by interaction. Your brain knows it like this. I open it, I work on it, I charge it, I get slow, it gets slow, it hits, it breaks, it fixes or replaces it. Number two, forced your brain into give me a formal explanation. That's a definition mode, not a knowledge mode, right? So the blank wasn't ignorance, it was a mode mismatch. Very important distinction. This will unlock a lot. There are two kinds of knowing: interaction based knowing, procedural, tools, objects, skills, daily things. Example: laptop, phone, driving, coding, cooking. You know these by use, not by explanation. Concept based knowing, abstract, ideas, principles, theories, symptoms, systems, not symptoms. Example: algorithms, career strategy, communication, learning models. This requires structure to explain. You applied concept tests to an object. That's why it failed. We got new discovery. I mean, I got to know new thing. Let's correctly test whether you know a laptop. Forget definition. Use appropriate tests. Test first. Can you use it without thinking? Yes, you know it. Can you predict outcomes? Now, what happen if I don't charge it? I know what will it will switch off. What happen if RAM is low? It will not function properly if you open multiple application. I guess what happen if storage full? I won't be able to store many more things. If you can answer knowledge exists, test it. Can you detect problems you immediately know? Something is wrong. It's slow. Battery use issues. Heating issues. That's deep practical understanding. Test it. Can you choose between options? Laptop versus desktop, Windows versus Mac, SSD versus SSD. If you can decide with reasons, you know it. Now, why explanation still feels hard? And this is key. To explain a laptop, you need a frame. Without a frame, your mind goes blank. Your brain doesn't store laptop, portable computing device. It stores these things like lets me work. So when asked what is a laptop, your brain asks from which angle: usage, technical purpose, comparison, beginner explanation, too many options, silence. Now this is the real rule you should use. If you can interact with it, predict it, fix it, and choose with it, you know it. If you can explain it clearly, you have learned how to package it. Okay, you can interact with, predict it, fix it, and choose it. Ah, earlier, whatever we write it down, it is saying the same thing. That means we know the laptop. We can interact with it. I mean, the question was itself wrong. The question we were trying to get the things from it. How to avoid confusion going forward? Very important. When you test yourself, first classify the thing. Ask: is this an object, skill, or concept? Object test by interaction or predictions. Skill test by execution and adaptation. Concept test by explanation and transfer. You mixed these earlier. That's all. How you should explain a laptop? Simple structure. If you ever need to explain it, don't define it. Frame it. A laptop is basically a portable tool that lets you do computer work anywhere. It combines screen, keyboards, battery, and processing in one device. That's enough. No philosophy needed. That is the thing what we were saying, I guess, earlier. Important reassurance. Read this twice. The fact that you questioned your understanding this deeply means your thinking is strong, not weak. Oh, it is appreciating me, or it is just making me feel good. That's good. The fact that you questioned your understanding this deeply means your thinking is strong, not weak. Your issue is not lack of clarity. It is lack of framing before speaking. Next logical step, we can now do one of these, build a universal framing method. From which angle am I explaining? Am I explaining? Create a pre speaking